So here's the second video. It's mean and the standard deviation from the mean. It's actually pretty easy to put together. All we're going to do is this. We did in the last video, we found the mean value of our data of the heights of our basketball players. Now we have to find the deviation from the mean. And all we're going to do is we're going to take each particular score and subtract out the mean. So 72 minus 75 is negative 3. 73 minus 75 is negative 2. 1, 1, and 3. Now, if you summate this, if you count these together, this sums to 0, and that it's kind of hard to make a lot of good assessments based on that. So what we're going to do is we're going to square that. So we're going to take the same values that we got here, and we're going to square them. So 3 squared is 9. Negative 3 squared is 9. Negative 2 squared is 4. 1 squared is still 1. 1 and 9. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add these together. So this is the summation of those numbers, and that gets us to 24, I think. Is that right? Yeah, that gets us to 24. From here, I want to move on to standard deviation. And standard deviation looks like this. The standard deviation, a sample standard deviation, looks like this. It's the square root of the sums of adding up all of these values right here of the x minus the mean values squared all over n minus 1. And we're going to talk about that n minus 1 in just a second here. But if we just take this, here is the summation. We added these numbers. That's what this is telling us to do. We added up these numbers, and we got 24. N, the number that we have in our sample, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 minus 1 is 4. And we want the square root of that. Well, 24 over 4 is 6. So we have the square root of 6 is our answer. That is loosely equal to 2.4. The last thing I really want to talk about is why this n minus 1 thing. And division by n tends to underestimate the population variance. Whereas if you do division by n minus 1, it gives you an average that's much closer to the correct value. So it's one of those things I'm kind of saying take my word for it. But statistically and arithmetically, if you work this out over and over, this is a much better way to do this. All right? So I hope this was really helpful. Thanks for watching the video, and if you haven't already subscribed, please do.